And the tribes are surrounding them. They had no idea.
Wow.
And they just started throwing arrows from the shadows. Like, you could literally walk 15 feet and then be like, I'm just going to come right back. And the jungle will, like, Blair Witch you. Because it's all green. So you just, like, think you know what you're doing. Just last week, I wanted to cross from one trail to another trail. And I was like, I'm a guide. I can do this. And I came back out on the same trail like a half hour later. And I was like, yep, that's what I meant to do. Let's go. And like, happens to JJ all the time.
Really?
You cannot find your way in the
Do
jungle.
you use a compass?
Don't use a compass.
Why not?
Because actually, apparently, some of the iron content and some of the saps in the trees pulls the needle. It doesn't work really well. Like,
Even the trees are trying to trick you. Oh my God.
GPSs run out of batteries. You know, it's like you really you have to learn your bushcraft. You have to learn how to navigate in the jungle, and it's like which is pretty much you have to get just amazing at dead reckoning and remembering your course, because it's so dense that like we play with people. We go, we'll go see if you can go from here to there. And it's like they can't go there. They can't do that as soon as you leave the river. So like I had gone out on this solo, gotten lost, gotten scared, and then been like, oh shit, what if I just like into the wilded myself? What if now I'm gonna be the next kid that went and died in the Amazon? And like I like slept in the hammock, but this is like as I was learning, so I didn't realize that the hammock that I had bought had a mosquito net on top, but the back was not mosquito proof, so they could stick through. So my back was being destroyed by mosquitoes as I'm trying to sleep, and like a couple of nights of that. And so I finally fall asleep, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and I hear breathing right next to my face, and I like wanted to turn my headlamp on, and I just hear like right here, like I could feel her breath, and I was like 6 inches away from a jaguar's face. And she just like, and then left. And she just came in. She wanted to see what that was. She was like, you're not going to move. That's what you're not going to do. She growled like right into my ear. And then later on. But that one's cute, though. That's a cute picture. That's a cute jag.
Wow. And they vary in colors and the spots and everything, right? Like some of them are much darker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, actually somebody recently was like, where do you see panthers? And I went on this whole thing of like, a leopard or a jaguar, just like you can have albinos, you have a melanistic one. Yeah.
Wow.
So like people would call that a panther, but a panther's not a real, there's no animal that's a panther. It's like a Kleenex. It's like, it's just another name for it.
That is so beautiful.
But a black
Look
jag.
at that thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Yeah. In South India, they have the black leopards.
What an amazing looking animal.
Look at the muscles.
Yeah, it's an amazing killing machine. And so humans don't get taken out by them?
I can only really speak for our region of the Amazon, but I haven't even heard a story about it.
Really?
Like no one. Our jags are we have like record numbers of jags. Like I think they're listed as near threatened, and we have like some of the strongest remaining jaguar populations in the world. It's incredible.
And
like
you barely see them.
We barely see them. The last one I saw was 2 years ago. And some people like go their whole lives without seeing them.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because people walk off into the jungle and they don't realize. People, it's so funny living in the wild and seeing people show up there. And it's like people come and they're like, they smell like shampoo and cologne and bug spray and deodorant. And they're just like, if to an animal that has such better senses than we do, they might as well just have like sirens on them. And like you are this shiny, glittering foghorn of attention in the jungle, and like every animal is going to run away from you. And so people are always like, how come you go out and you see so much stuff? And it's like, I only shower in the river. I live out in the jungle. I smell like they do. Like I'm out there for weeks, and it's like I'm not going and like shampooing my hair. It's like, and so like to these animals, like they know when you're coming. Like a jag's just going to be like, oh, there's a human there.
Do you wash with soap when you wash in the river?
I do use a biodegradable soap. You have to keep your skin clean or else you just get infections. But like for the most part, like my clothing, everything, like I don't use anything that's scented because of that, because I want to be out there and just blend in. And that's whether I'm out in the field with elephants or whether you're out in Africa or India or whether you're in the Amazon. I want to be sort of like included. I want to blend in. And so like not that long ago, I was checking a camera trap and I thought it was a we had students at our research station at the time, and I heard like the leaves going like, and it was like September, so the jungle was dry. And I turned around and I was going to scare this person because I was going to be like, who walks that loud in the jungle? Like, you have no respect. And I turned around with my finger up, and this jag walked right by me on the trail and just went, what's up? And just kept walking. And I was like, finger up. And I was like, okay.
Oh, Lord.
But I took that as good because at least I was, my like scent trail was so that he didn't know I was there. I could see it on his face. He didn't care. He was like, hey. But I mean, he was 6 feet away. He didn't even break his stride. He just walked by me and was like, yo, what's up?
They don't think of you as food, so they just keep moving.
No, and I think they're, with big cats, they're the mothers teach the young how to hunt, and I think they're so oriented, like with tigers, they're so oriented on horizontal, get the neck from underneath, break the neck from up top. And it's like when they see a vertical animal walking by, I think they're like, first of all, I don't know what this is. Second of all, it smells weird. Third of all, where do I even, you got to be desperate to take that risk. I don't think that lions are a different story, but with jags, with tigers, with leopards, I've never ever felt any fear being around a jaguar, like any fear. I don't even take pictures of them. I just enjoy it.
Wow.
I let other people take pictures. If I'm with people, I'll let them take pictures, but I will not lift my camera for a jag. I'll just stand there and just
take it in.
Yeah. You get to see them so rarely. I don't want to sit there finally seeing one and then put another screen in front of my face.
Right.
Look through it through some glass. Like,
whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our camera.
They've started them. That's from yours?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
That is so majestic. What an amazing animal. Those glowing eyes.
Well, that's the crazy thing. You shine your headlamp into the night, and then when things look back at you, you got to wonder what it is. It's like,
well, when there's two eyes in the front,
there's two eyes in the front, yeah. But sometimes the deer, but then the jags do this thing where they move their head like this. They try and see around your headlamp. They'll like do this little side to side thing. Like the deer, they'll just blink at you. They'll just blink, and so you start learning the eye shines. You start learning the. Because then you can be out there at night and you look at something and people are like, oh shit, dude, it's a jag. And it's like, no, it's a deer.
When you were saying that the uncontacted tribe were speaking in monkey calls, what are they doing?
So JJ's dad used to tell us, he said, if you're ever out in the forest and something doesn't sound right, he was like, get out of there. And he was like, because they will use the tinamou calls, like the undulated tinamou is like, but like we know what that sounds like, but we also know what it doesn't sound like. And so like every now and then you'll hear one that's, different. And like we all get freaked out because we're like, that's how we do it. That's how JJ taught me to do it. Like if there was a bunch of tourists right there and JJ wanted me to come over and like chill with him and we wanted to go hang, he would just do that and get my attention. And like I know that it's not a tinamou, I know it's JJ. And so it's like they've taken that to a whole nother level where they can communicate. And so there was a group of guys who was upriver and they got surrounded. They heard monkey calls coming from different directions, and they realized that they were completely surrounded. And like at least one of the guys who was telling it to me, he got in the water and like crawled like a turtle and like escaped. And then the tribe showed up, and then there was this whole showdown where they actually shot one of the community members, and then one of the guys who knows some of their language was saying that it looked like they were mad with the guy that shot the guy. They were mad with him. Like they were like, why did you do that? Now there's going to be retaliation. Like, why did you shoot him? And like there was like a whole discussion happening while these people were like huddled in the stream waiting to see if they got killed too. So it's like I don't really, like, so when you get these loggers going in there, it's like, yo, we'll pay you to protect the rainforest, and like you don't have to do this. You don't have to be going into these areas that are that dangerous. So yeah, so at this point now, though, through all of this, though, we've established jungle keepers. We have 50,000 acres. We're trying to do 300,000 acres. And if we can do that, we'll basically be helping to establish one of the largest protected areas in the Amazon rainforest, which will encompass these uncontacted people. And they can stay uncontacted and they can stay safe and do whatever they want to do in the jungle, guarding the secret pyramids and the giant ground sloths or whatever the hell it is that they do. But we're close.
Now, how many uncontacted tribes are they aware of?
I think there's like over 100 different groups across the Amazon. Wow. There's also varying degrees of, and the other thing is the conversation so often gets turned to like they're, violent, and that they're people to live out in the jungle. And I have no idea how they do it either, because at night we need headlamps. We don't have night vision. All the animals have night vision. So it's like, what do they do that night? They're able to make fire in the jungle at night every day. If I gave you an entire book of matches, me and you, we sat down right now in the jungle. I was like, okay, cool. You got a machete and a book of matches. First one to make fire wins. We couldn't do it. It's wet. Everything is wet. So how are they? What's their? Are they doing bow drill? What are they doing? So
we don't know.
We don't really know. No. We don't know how they do that. We don't know how they stay infection free. We don't know what they do with their old people. We never see old people. We never really see children. And so like they move around, and we see like groups of men on beaches. We see like that aerial picture where you see like a family group out. That's in turtle season, where you have turtles laying their eggs on the beaches, and the tribes will come out because that's easy food. You just pick up turtle eggs and eat them. But there's so much that we don't know about their lifestyle. And like people get so many things wrong. Just, if you leave them alone, then they won't kill you. If then people go, oh, they're Stone Age tribes. And it's like, well, they're not Stone Age tribes because they're alive right now. And you couldn't live out in the jungle, but they can.
Right.
So it's like there's elements of their botanical knowledge, their medicinal knowledge, their creation myths, their view of history. I mean, they're coming at reality from a whole different perspective than we are.
Wow. And there's really no way to get... Does anyone speak their language? Do we know what language they all speak? Is it universal? Do they have different languages?
It's not universal, and there was someone in our region who, like, captured a child from the Uncontacted, raised him in a very remote community, and people have tried, anthropologists have tried. They've been like, hey, so what was it like when you grew up? And it's like, it's dark. He's just like, I don't remember. Like, no one's been able to get any information out of him.
How old was he when they captured him?
I think like 6. Like under 10 for sure.
Does he not remember? Or does he just not want to talk about it?
I don't know. There's all these underlying stories. Oh man, yeah. There's just. Then last year, some loggers went to a place they shouldn't have gone, and they got whacked. And sort of like the WhatsApp underground in Peru, like everyone was sending each other pictures because one of the cops like sent to his family a picture of what the bodies looked like on like day 6, laying on the beach with arrows in them and shit. And it was like, oh my God. It was like this. It makes you stay in bed at night. You're just like, I am not going out.
Jesus.
But I mean, yeah, it's a complicated topic because there's people that want to contact them. There's people that want to leave them alone. And then, of course, there's missionaries that are like, they need the Bible.
What did you think about Lost City of Z?
I loved the book. I wanted more from the movie.
Of course.
Yeah.
There's only so much time and
yeah.
Hollywood fuckery.
Oh, God. The book was fantastic. And that guy was out of his mind.
Out of his mind.
Out of his mind.
Yeah.
Percy Fawcett.
Yeah.
Percy Fawcett. But like the fact that he could go on those expeditions and not get infected. Mm-hmm. I've been brutally like, hold on, I'll show you this picture. I don't think there's any way of pulling this up, but like
oh my God.
Like the jungle just gets into your skin.
Oh, what is that on your face?
MRSA infection. It started like, mosquito bites, and then I would scratch, and then you don't realize you're spreading it with your fingernails. And you like go like this and shit. And so, I mean, I almost died from that. Like that was, but I was staying in the jungle to like take care of an anteater. But it's like,
how did you get free of that? Like if you're in the jungle, did you use antibiotics?
Go home.
You just go home.
I had to go home at that point. I remember I got to JFK, and the guy, he like looked down at my passport. He goes, yeah, what were you doing in Peru? And then he looked up at me and he goes, buddy, what the fuck? And I was like, I'm just trying to get it. And he like stamped it. He was like, go, 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 go. He's like, go to the doctor. I can't believe they let me through.
Right. You could have been infected with some crazy plague.
Could have had like monkey Ebola. Like
yeah.
It looked bad. And I spent days in the hospital. Like it was really, really bad. But for Percy Fawcett to not, they would say like other people would be dying. There was somebody, I think the guy's name was Murray. He came from the Shackleton XP. He'd already been out with Shackleton, so he was like, I'm a real explorer. And he didn't last any time with Fawcett. Because Percy Fawcett was just like, you can't keep up? Go die. You can go die with the mules. Like, he just wouldn't stop. So my question is like, did he go out and eventually get killed? Or did he eventually go out and like find the tribe that made him their king and just...
There's no knowledge.
There's no knowledge of it.
Yeah, no one really knows what happened to him.
And they said in that book that over 100 people have died looking for him. since he left. Because then the other expeditions that have gone out, all of those have died too. I did an expedition right before Lex came, I did an expedition in March. And me and JJ went to the back. We basically picked a part of the Amazon that we'd never been to and went, let's go see what's over there. And it took us.
You just picked a spot.
We picked a spot because it was around in a place that, like, on the map, there's no towns, there's no nothing. So we said, let's go there. And it took us a week. We had to take a commercial flight to a smaller flight to a smaller flight, and then we had to take a boat for 3 days, 9 hours a day, to get to the start of the expedition.
Now, when you do that, do you check to see if there's uncontacted tribes that have been reported in those areas?
What you do is you get to the last town. And you go,
You wait.
what's that way? And they tell you. And the scariest thing, and this was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life, was that there were these tiny little people there. And there was like normal Peruvians walking around, like loggers, gold miners. They're chainsaws. There's people who had gasoline barges. There's also prostitute boats that drive around, like brothels that go
on
up
a
and down.
boat.
Yeah, and you can pay them in wood. Surprisingly enough, board feet of timber, no joke.
Whoa.
Yes, you get to the real, like, this is a place where, like, you feel like you went in a time machine. And you get out there, and there's people with modern machines, but then off in the corner, there were these little people, and they were still holding onto their bows and arrows. And you look at them, and as soon as you look at them, they hide. And we were like, who are they? And they're like, those are the Nawa. And we were like, what's going on with the Nawa? And it turns out that the Nawa were shooting at the oil company guys that were trying to get into this deep, again, a part of the forest that never has been accessed before. Now it's starting, people are reaching deeper into the Amazon. And the problem is they'd be going up this river, and there'd be arrows flying by them.
Oh, my God.
So how'd they solve that problem? They funded the missionaries, sent the missionaries out there to talk to the Nawa and convince them to come back to the nearest town. So these are uncontacted tribes who are right there. Like, we're standing there, like, kind of talking to them. We're like, hola. And
how do the missionaries communicate with them?
the missionaries go, like, Bible up, and they just hope. And they just fucking hope.
Are these the Mormons? Like, what groups?
I actually don't know. 'Cause
Mormons love to do that.
I don't know what group it was. I know I saw the missionary, and he gave me a dirty, evil look and walked away. Like, this is dark shit. It was dark shit.
The missionary gave you an evil look.
Oh,
That's
no. These are not people that are okay. And so these terrified... Think about this for a second.
What are the missionaries up to?
They're working for the oil companies. They're clearing out the forest. They're clearing the way. They're just doing it peacefully.
But are they actual missionaries, or are they acting as missionaries?
Whatever it is, they're going with the missionary protocol, getting these people to come in. So what they did was, through 2 translators from Spanish to Yine to Nawa to something, we asked this guy, and we had to stay away because we didn't want to get them sick. And we had to say, like, what are you doing here? And the guy was like, I'm trying to go back to my house, like where I live, not my house, my jungle. And he said, these missionaries said if I came here, that then they'd help me in the food and, And they were very confused because the missionaries had brought back a boatload of them and kind of tricked them, because then when they got to the town, they just showed up to capitalist society, which, even though it's super remote, they're like, you want food? You got to buy it. And these people have a bow and arrow, but there's no more animals around because they've killed everything.
God.
And they go, but I want to go home. And the missionaries go, well, do you got gasoline? Now they're stuck.
Oh, my God. And how far?
Like 3 days of driving in a boat, so like 70 miles by river.
Oh, my God.
And so these poor people are coming into modern society 1,000 years late with their wooden bow and arrows. They're this big. They're tiny little people, and they're terrified, and no one's helping them.
Oh, my God.
And it's the edge of the world, and it's exactly when I was reading this Comanche book on that expedition, and I'm going, this is the same thing. It's that manifest destiny. This is the end of their culture. There's no one who's going to help them. And they were just terrified, sitting there at the edges of the streets, and all these people are riding by on like motorcycles and rickshaws, and there's boats going by, and these people are trying to look for like a rat to shoot.
Oh, my God.
It was terrifying.
Oh, my God.
It was terrifying. I felt so bad for them because they had no idea. You could see they had no idea.
And they don't even speak the language.
They don't even speak. They're 2 degrees separated with language. So like you could speak Yine, which is the local tribal language there, but these people don't even speak that. They speak their language. So you'd have to go from Spanish to Yine to Nawa.
Oh, my God.
And we were there, and these people were going.
So how does someone know Nawa that you talked to?
Because one of the Yine guys that I knew had been living there, so he'd picked up a few Nawa words, and so they were going. So
these people, how long have these people been there for?
I didn't get that, but they were they were literally living in a camp at the where the trees were. They stayed by the trees. They wanted to be by the trees.
Oh my God.
And so there's people you could buy a Coca-Cola there. This was you could buy gasoline, Coca-Cola, whatever. Way out there's a boat that has some gasoline cylinders. You can fill up your boat, and then this is the long. It's during the gold rush in Alaska. It's the last place before you go into the wild.
Oh my God.
And it was really horrible to see. And I think reading that the Empire of the Summer Moon made it even worse because
that's so dirty. So they trick these people into going to the town and they just abandon them.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And these people, how could they know that someone would do that to them? They
have
don't even know
no
what a town is like,
idea.
right?
They don't even know what a town is
Oh
like.
my
They're terrified.
God.
And so they're still, you see them, they're washing by the river and they're trying to feed their babies, but they're
probably
starving.
no one gives a fuck.
And no one gives a fuck. And they're
Oh
treated
my
like dirt
God.
too, because humans are humans, and so
Right.
no one wants to help them. Nobody can talk to them. And then of course they're kind of frustrated, right?
Right.
So they're not exactly friendly either.
Right. Wow.
So yeah, crazy.
Have you seen that overhead fit? There's a view, a camera is on the helicopter or something, and it's photographing these guys, and they're all fucking pointed bows and arrows. This one. How wild is that?
You think that's wild? I can show you something that I can't show publicly, but look at this.
Really?
Yeah, I got something that no one's seen.
Ooh.
This is from last week.
I'm gonna show everybody.
No, you're not. This is from last week.
Oh wow.
So what Joe's looking at right now is a bunch of uncontacted tribes standing in the rain, and again, they don't speak the language of the people that are trying to interact with them. So this is across a river.
Are these those same people that were in that town?
These are not the Nawa. This is a different tribe.
Oh my God, man, this is wild. This is like imagining what it would be like to run into people hundreds of thousands of years ago.
Are you on the single guy yet?
Yeah. Incredible, man. I mean, that guy looks like someone from the past.
Yep.
He doesn't look like someone from now.
Yeah. And so what they did was they sent them a canoe full of bananas. Now that guy's standing there in the cold, shaking his head he might just not know the word for blanket.
It's insane, man. This is incredible.
Yeah.
And these are essentially some of the last people on Earth like this.
Yeah, and so there's a huge debate about how we protect them because there's two camps. There's some people that say, they're running scared during the Industrial Revolution. They pushed further out and they're too scared to come in and get help. And then there's other people that go, no, they're noble savages and they live out there because they want to and they're the last free people. But looking at these videos and seeing some of the stuff, they're trying to carefully interact with some of the most remote tribes. And so there's people that live 7 days from the nearest town that speak a dialect of native language in the Amazon, and the tribes will come out and they'll come out and they'll come out and they'll just look. They'll look at them. They'll make gestures. They'll do things. But if you get too close to them, they shoot you.
Ugh.
So you can't just go up to them and be like, hey, man, what's up? Do you want some eggs?
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
So what happens is this standoff on either side of the river where you have people that live a remote lifestyle and are very, very indigenous, but that can still interact with us, that the modern world have seen a dollar before, have seen a spoon, the wheel, blah, blah,
Wearing
blah.
an Under Armour t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. And then these people show up and they got their dicks tied to their stomachs and they wear no clothes and they're making sounds. Sometimes they're using animal calls.
They tie their dicks down so they don't get scratched up.
They tie them up. So if you look at this dude here, look, I'll just pause it on when he's.
That's so gangster.
It's like, yeah, man, I gotta tie it up. Otherwise,
I mean, think about the stuff they're walking through.
you don't want to drag it on the ground.
Where everything's got a thorn.
So look at that. He's
Wow.
got that thing tied up. But yeah, you don't want to get in. I guess you don't want mosquitoes having access to the head.
That could be a problem.
That could be a problem.
Aren't there little fishies that swim up your dick hole too?
That's only if you're peeing in the water.
Oh.
A much worse thing is when you take a shit in the jungle.
Uh-oh.
All the bugs are coming for you.
Oh,
so you gotta
no.
be on dick patrol while you're doing that because you're gonna get bug bites on your ass, but you gotta make sure
They don't go in your asshole.
Well, sure.
Right? Does that
There's
happen?
that too, yeah. Because as soon as you
Christ.
crouch, dung beetles bigger than golf balls start flying through the air. So
Oh
as
my
you're trying
God.
to take a shit in the
So
Amazon,
they know when an animal
as soon
crouches.
as you fart, there are animals following
Oh.
you. And so you're sitting there, and you have to. There's a bunch of things you got to do. First, you got to break your stick, right? So you have like some leaves. The leaves is to keep your ass bug free, to get the mosquitoes away. And then the other thing you got to do is you got to be holding a tree because you're crouching, right?
Right.
But then you use your ass stick to swat away the dung beetles because they come in. And one dung beetle hit my friend Mosin in the eyeball, and like scratched his actual eyeball because it flew straight. And they have rhinoceros horns coming out of their faces, and their exoskeletons brutal, and they're heavy. It's a big bug, and they're airborne, and they're moving quick. And when they want your shit because and they're gonna take it, and they're gonna roll it into balls, and they're gonna push it through the jungle, and they're gonna lay their eggs in it.
Oh God.
So yeah, taking the shit in the jungle is like a whole. You have to know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, you could end up in a lot of trouble.
Good Lord, man. So many things to think about, and this is your everyday existence.
Yeah.
When you went to that spot,
Yeah.
when you decided let's go there, and it takes you 3 days, and you get up there and you see these people, did you wind up going deeper into the jungle and seeing how they actually live?
So,
Can you, or is it dangerous?
well, both. Well, I had some trackers with me who were extremely experienced in all of this. They knew where we could and couldn't go, and we went on it took us a week to get to the launch point, and then we went on a 6-day expedition from there, where we're eating fish out of the river, we're drinking out of the river, camping on the beaches. And then we did reach a point where they found signs of uncontacted tribes.
And that's when it gets dangerous.
And they went, we're going back.
Wow.
100% going back. I mean, you have to. For everyone's, there's absolutely no way that you can continue going. You're going to either get killed or be killed. Like it turns into. I mean, these guys turned around, they loaded the shotguns, and they were like, we turned around this moment. They turned to the boat, and the moment that you
Because they know you're there before you know they're there.
Oh, they know you're there.
Yeah, if you're coming in a boat too, it's probably making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Wait,
they hear that thing from a long ways out.
3 weeks ago, some loggers, they found them. They were the chainsaw. The loggers were chainsawing on the Tawamanu River. The loggers were, from the look of I'm kind of Sherlock Holmesing the image I saw. The loggers were cutting this log. They were dead where they were standing. So you think these guys are going cutting this log.
If you enjoyed today's episode on JRE Plus, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you.